Dixie spelling reform is basically this where it tries getting the words more or less like this and more like that by making it sound more like make it look more like it's how it sounds. Yet also some things on the computer that has to be improvised because you don't quite have the letter just to represent the simple thing. Like a document. A document. You look right here. That's a turned over single story A, like that. Now, normally it's written differently. It's written like this. It is normally written like that. Which this spelling reform actually makes A different from A. Which this one is just glued there because, well, it's hard to find a big version of that. Now you may sometimes see this being put onto there because, well, this A kind of sounds a little bit like ah. Except this one makes more of an ah sound, like as in sound. Because if you noticed, it says sound, not sound. Sa. Because this is ah, this one's eh. This and, because if this was an ah, this would have been ah, and, instead of sound, ah, ound. Which is basically how the Dixie spelling reform revolves around. Because this is actually treated as a long letter, but it's a rounded version of that because you could just turn it over and go like this, but it'll be it's harder to write to make it not look like a P. But thorn is put into here that's separate from P. Because as you can see it's also in there. So pretty much P thorn would be separated from like this, like the cattle lizard. Well, also the lowercase will be this and this. But as it comes back to her, like the accent things, Y is one of the, it actually makes an E sound here, like as in Middle English tried doing, where they tried making an E sound. And if you want to know what Y is, it's just this. And if you want to know what J is, it's this. ZC. Now, if you want to know why I've written ZC like that, when normally I just write it like this, is because the Yoch is actually put back into the English alphabet because believe it or not, we do have words that are made that makes the Yuck sound. Although most of the common ones are mostly like Yuck, Ugh. Now see, a Karen may be a mistake, but it's actually supposed to be a breve for the short letters. This is so we don't have to add like 1,000 letters. Like, if you, because the IPA system for this letter is actually this, not to be confused with this or this, because and which basically, this one's called a schwa, this one's called truce Ishwa slash Trushwa. And this one is actually you would think it's Ushwa, but it's actually this one's actually called Wedge, which is the unrounded version of Ah. Because Ah is, well, of course, going to be, the AU sound that you normally see in English currently, but now if you use this, give it a little hat, you can get the ah sound, but honestly, that's just marks on them. There's actually multiple ways that you can write this thing. You can, if you also wanted to, you can just write it like this. Honestly, I prefer that, but pretty much the ah sound for this is pretty much just marked like that because, well, technically there's not really any letter to actually represent the sound. And the ah sound is in words like boy, caught, and other stuff, but most of the time you have to see it being used as an O or an A. And that's the reason why the other alternative for this is pretty much this, which is honestly I don't mind having like this one, and this one are pretty much to me is the go ones for that because well we're already using breathe for you and using a breathe for shorty, which makes actually the sound instead, which kind of sounds a little bit like but it's actually like bird, the instead of the sound, like like as in father, there. Because we actually do use a schwa in this because it's actually written in since no Webster, so I might as well just go ahead and implement it. Which of course makes that sound, the schwa. So pretty much these two letters are probably the ones you probably get most confused with and But then yet again there's also I. Now it's the weird diacritic. It's technically because the tail is technically already a diacritic, which actually makes the sound. That's enough for vowels. Might as well just go ahead and speak sense. Like, oh yeah. By the way, if you want to know what the difference is, we actually have and eh, and eh. Sometimes is written like this, but in certain circumstances, really. Because look at this. It goes a cow has jumped over the moon. And yes, that is W that I'm using to represent it instead of this, because U is actually supposed to this is actually supposed to represent a long U, like as in British. Just like Y and Y does. Actually, this is actually supposed to be written more like that. More like something like that. And then W is supposed to represent ooh, because it's a W. Now, what actually is what sound is this. The win. Which a lot of people might like, yes, I can see how it can be. The capital one can't be confused with the capital P as much, but the lowercase, like here's a P and here's a when, is meant to look like it's supposed to be like a party balloon. Well, this one's supposed to look like a tongue that's sticking out, and this one's supposed to look like a party balloon. If you want to go with thoughts. And check. And actually, for the ah sound, we're actually using this, like as in Hawaiian doesn't, because I already had a symbol. Might as well go ahead and use it, and because that actually keeps it from being, because this actually makes the possessive this, where you don't even have to add this. So pretty much this is supposed to represent the glottal stop. Which to me looks too much like a question mark. So pretty much apostrophes are out, but you can use the glottal stop if you want to. It's not actually necessary to put in there. But actually it would help with saying this. Oh. Because it has that little glottal stop. And for British English, it would really help. Because it's, well, only for certain dialects, but it would help with them. Because they have a little more common. And the reason why I used the DT there is because, well, honestly, a lot of times my thing is to, my accent tends to have a DT sounding into it. Because sometimes some accents have like an in between the version. So anyways, gonna probably do a lot less explaining afterwards and just have y'all and just show y'all how to write them. Oh, and by the way, first of all, I should show you how to pretty much wedge would be just for in like wedge. Because we're retiring G from the softness and just putting it into here. So anyways, that's all. Bye bye.